Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for attending the session today. I'm so disappointed and so sorry that I was not able to be there live with you all today to present this information to you. I do reside in the state of Florida, and with the storm that came through, I felt that for safety reasons, it would be best if I stayed behind. But nonetheless, I still want to give you all of this information, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and my contact information will be at the end of this presentation. So my name is Jessica Johnson. I'm the Vice President of the Storage Business Owners Alliance, better known as the SBOA. And we're going to talk about social media marketing made easy. And I've broken this down into what I consider the 12 C's of social media marketing to help you guys start planning and executing some really good social media posts and content that will help create some brand awareness and hopefully some conversions for your business. So let's get started. So who here uses social media? If I was in front of this audience, I would imagine every single person in the room probably will raise their hand. Social is becoming more and more powerful. And these are just some stats across different platforms as to how many users each platform currently has. These are US-based numbers. These are not global numbers. And I did US-based numbers, obviously, for the relevancy of we are marketing to usually the US population, not outside of the US. No one's going to come from China and store their stuff at your facility in Augusta, Georgia. But if I were to open this up globally, obviously, these numbers would grow exponentially. And these numbers and stats are back from March of 2022. So even within that several month time period, I would anticipate that a lot of these numbers have grown since then. And just to let you know, TikTok is really starting to make some headway. It is outperforming metrics that we are seeing on Google and Facebook. People are no longer relying on Google to utilize it as a search engine. They are now using TikTok as a search engine. More of the Gen Zers out there, but nonetheless, we are seeing a very large shift over to TikTok. And I could do an entire presentation on the importance of TikTok, and maybe that will be a secondary one here in the near future. So again, here's just some interesting stats of the usage, the amount of people that are on these different social media platforms. Here's some other cool stats, and this is just a grid showing you, on average, the average person is spending 2 hours and 47 minutes a day on social media, and that's across the different platforms. That's not necessarily one particular platform, but what we're showing is that's a 2-minute increase since 2021, and it is the highest usage ever recorded. So you need to meet your consumers and your customers and your potential tenants where they are at, and this is showing you a lot of them are out there on social media. So why is social media important? There's many different reasons. Number one, it helps build brand awareness, and it helps build it very quickly and organically. So having social media presence and pages is a critical piece of your business. Excuse me. It can help generate potential leads and followers. Obviously, people aren't necessarily going to social media to rent a unit from you. However, if they see your information, they start consistently seeing your information in their news feeds, you're going to become top of mind for them in their purchasing process. And it also allows you to nurture these leads and followers. You can interact with these leads and your followers on a more intimate basis. It helps build a community of followers, especially within your local market. This is something that's important to raise awareness of your brand and your facility. It can increase your website traffic. So most of your social media posts, if not all, should have a call to action that's directing them over to your website. Now, your website is where they are going to interact with you and hopefully convert into a unit rental. So definitely important to help with the website traffic. It gives you an opportunity for social listening. And what I mean by that is, let's say you make a post and 100 people like that post, and 50 of those 100 people comment on that post. Something about that post was engaging enough for people to interact with you and engage with you on that level. So it's a level of being able to analyze your potential clients or your current clients. And you can showcase this social proof to your prospective customers. And what I mean by that one is you can post your Google reviews out there, your Facebook reviews out there to show the proof to potential customers and consumers that you are a viable business, that you are a legit business, and that you are a good business for them to interact with and hopefully rent from. You can position yourself as an industry thought leader. I see tons and tons of self-storage owners and operators out there on social media. They're sharing information about their facility. They're sharing information about their self-storage journey. And that is leading into, other potential commercial real estate investors taking a look at our industry by watching this content. Some good ones out there. AJ Osborne does a really good job with this. Scott Myers does a good job with this. Jeremiah Boucher does a really good job with this. So highly recommend that you check out those three individuals and what they're doing on social to position themselves as thought leaders in the self-storage industry. This can help you grow your audience very quickly and organically. When I started a couple of years ago with the Storage Business Owners Alliance, we only had about, I want to say 600 followers specifically on LinkedIn, and we're now close to 3,000 in just 3 years. And all of that has been organic growth. None of that has been paid. That has just been kind of us mining through the process, putting good content out there, and then inviting people to follow us, because you can do that as well. This helps you stay TOMA. And what I mean by TOMA is top of mind awareness with your consumers. Again, if you're posting on social media consistently and you have a good following, you will show up in people's news feeds. And that's what the entire goal of this is. And then you can also start to make sales directly within social platforms. Again, yes, people aren't necessarily going to a Facebook page of yours to rent a unit from you, but there are people that are doing that. Storage Asset Management, Melissa Stiles over there, their Chief Marketing Officer, they are doing and testing now some social media influencer marketing, where they've paid social media influencers to come in, rent a unit, and then record the entire process of that rental, storing, etc., and how easy the process was. And they are actually getting conversions from this effort, and their conversions happen to be more business type accounts than just traditional tenant accounts, which many of you know, if not all of you know, that the business accounts tend to stay longer. So they may pay more for that acquisition of that particular tenant. However, if the shelf life of that tenant is longer, you're going to make that money back quickly on what you spent in the investment of a social media influencer. And again, just like TikTok, that's an entire topic we could spend an entire session on. So for those of you that aren't on social media currently, this is just a quick way to get started on social media. If you don't have a social media presence or pages, we highly recommend, and what we're seeing the best usage right now is obviously the Google Business Profile. That is number one, followed by Facebook. Facebook is also owns Instagram. So if you do Facebook, you should also do Instagram. You can tie the two accounts together very easy and seamlessly, and be able to cross post on both of those platforms. So we recommend don't use your personal account. If Facebook notices a personal account is soliciting commercial type business, they possibly could disable the account for the commercial use violations. So you want to set up your business profile, make sure all of your information is identical across all the different platforms. This is your business listings, whether it's Google Business Profile, Facebook, Bing, Yelp, all of those. And if this is a manual process for you, I recommend that you create a Word document with all of your pertinent information, the name of your business, they call it the NAP, name, address, and phone. You want your name out there, your physical address, your phone number, your website, your hours of operation. Put all of that into a Word document, and then you can copy and paste it so there's no room for error. Because what we'll typically see is one listing may say, 123 Apple Street, and the word street is spelled out. And the second listing we see is 123 Apple Street, but then street is abbreviated ST with a period. And consistency does matter in the business profile. So that's just a tip for any of you out there that are doing this manually. We recommend that you set up a specific email address for your social media account. That way, when that email address is getting pinged with messages and notifications, you know that that's coming from social media usage, and you want to pay attention to that because you do want to be responsive. Use your logo and good quality photos on all of your pages. There's a great amount of nice self-storage stock imagery out there that we do say that you can use, but again, I wouldn't when it's your facility. That's confusing to the consumer. If you use a photo of a facility that's not yours and they pull up to your facility to rent from you because they saw the photo on your Google business profile or on your Facebook profile, and it's not even your facility. So people like moving boxes into a unit or packing boxes, some of that type of stock imagery is a-okay, but definitely if it's of the facility, please make sure that it is your facility. And we want good quality, high resolution photos. A lot of people will hire photographers or videographers to do that. I don't think that's necessary at this point. Smartphones have come a long way with their cameras, and you can do a lot just with taking photos on your smartphones. Your cover photos on your social media, they should be sized properly and changed often. That way it has a fresh look. So if you need sizing recommendations, you can just go on Google and literally type in Facebook cover photo image size. And why I say this is important, I went to a social media page the other day, and their cover photo was a group of people, and it was not sized appropriately, and every single person's head was cut off. So that's something that we definitely want to avoid, to make sure you're checking the sizes and you're sizing your images appropriately. Utilize Canva for the posting size guideline. Canva is an online platform. It creates really nice graphics that you can use. And if anyone wants a tutorial in Canva, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to give you a free tutorial. It's very easy to use. All of the graphics that we design through Canva. We're not graphic artists. No one on my team is, but if you were to look at our imagery, you would think someone on my team is a graphic artist. So Canva is magical for many different reasons, and it'll specifically tell you if you're making a Facebook post or you're making an Instagram post or you're making a LinkedIn post, what those different posting size guidelines should be to make sure that it's a nice, crisp image that's high resolution that you're putting out on your pages. And then all of these platforms, when you're getting started, it's very easy. They walk you through the entire setup process. Enter your business information, enter a description about your business, enter your products, your services, etc. So very easy to get started. And again, if anyone needs help with this, please feel free to reach out to me. So you definitely need to go into this with some strategy, and it takes some planning. It's a little bit of a heavy lift on the front end, but I promise you, once you get into a rhythm with this, which you should, there's rhythm within your operations. I mean, you come in, you have your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual checklist for your operations of your facilities. You should have the same exact setup for your marketing strategies, and social media marketing is an element of your overall marketing strategies. So you want to define what your goals are and how you're going to measure these different goals of your social media platforms. What type of content are you going to post? When, where, and how often are you going to post? What channels are you going to prioritize? Again, Facebook and Instagram, start with those. And we always tell people, start with one platform and then add from there. So my company, the SBOA, we are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. But we didn't do all of that at once. We mastered one and then we phased in another one. And I'm pretty sure we'll be phasing in TikTok in 2023 because of the relevancy. Pick someone on your team who's going to create and distribute this content. If you're a one location operator, you may think like, oh my gosh, who's going to do this? Do I have to do this? Is this a task for my manager? It could be a task for your manager if they feel comfortable doing this. If they don't feel comfortable doing this and you don't feel comfortable and this is not within your skill set, you can always hire a third-party marketing agency that will do all of your social media content planning and strategizing for you. And they will also do the posting for you and the analyzing of all the different metrics and data on the back end to see the efficiency of the different posts that you are putting out there, the advertising that you're putting out there, and if it's effective or not. So we also recommend too, if you're in an area maybe near a college, find a college intern. They are all looking for credit hours to get their degree. And I would look for someone that's a digital marketing or that has a digital marketing focus. And bring them in. It could be a free internship or a paid internship, but they're in the trenches with this. They're learning about it every day. They have their hands on it every day. So no better person to help utilize and do this for you than a college intern. And then get your employees to share your content. Your employees can be a huge brand ambassador and advocate of the things that are going on at your facility or facilities. So these are the 12 C's of social media marketing. I'm going to quickly rattle through these and then we're going to go through these one by one. So content, captions, and this is video captions, and we'll talk about how important this is. Number 3 and 4, creativity and capturing. I usually lump those two together because if your posts are creative, they're going to capture your audience. So we call it the thumb stop. People are scrolling on their phone or they're scrolling on their computer with their mouse. What is going to make them stop? And you literally have seconds to grab their attention. So if your posts are creative and capturing, this is going to help with that process. Consistency. Number 6 is conciseness of the post. 7, CTAs, which are call to actions. There's several of them that we'll go into. For the use of the word, starting all of these with a C, I use the word coupons. I know coupons is a word of the past, but what I mean by this is your special offers and discounts, your competitors and what they're doing, contest, case studies, which is basically a different term for testimonials, your tenant testimonials, and how you can utilize those testimonials and reviews to showcase your facility. And then the conclusions. Conclusions is going to be analyzing the metrics and making sure that your posts are effective and they're getting the engagement, the reach, and the impressions that you want them to. Because if they're not, you need to pivot and maybe change the messaging, change the strategy. There's been plenty of A/B testing we've done with different posting. There's stuff that I send out that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to knock it out of the park. And it doesn't. And then there's other stuff that we've done for posting just with kind of like fun fill-in stuff. And it's actually performed way better than some of our other stuff. And we'll go into some of the different content that you should be posting to help you kind of get your arms around this. So first is content creation and planning. So the way we've kind of broken this down and how we do this with our business, and we post 5 days a week. I don't think that that's necessary, and we'll get into how often you should be posting here soon. But we scheduled this 1 quarter at a time. And we do that because obviously throughout the year, things are fluid, different events can pop up that maybe you want to be involved in or promote in your local community. So take that 1 quarter at a time, then we look at each month, and then we break it down into each week and what we will be posting each week. You should incorporate all of the major holidays into this schedule. Obviously, you want to just shout out, you know, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving. You can also say, you know, your facilities are closed on those major holidays. If you are, you could put fun posts out there about, you know, Thanksgiving's coming up, what you and your team are thankful for. But we like to see the major holidays incorporated. And there is actually, if you go online to Google, there's a national holiday calendar. You would be shocked at how many national holidays there are out there other than like major holidays. Here's an example of one we found a couple weeks ago. It was National Sweep Your Floors Day. So we did a fun post around, you know, the managers at the facility were making sure the facilities were spick and span and clean because it was National Sweep Your Floor Days and they were all out sweeping their floors. You can decide on your promotions for the quarter. We highly recommend that you do that. That way, you know, if you're in a lease up period, what will it take, you know, to get to the occupancy levels that you need during that lease up period? How long is that? And then start to schedule those promotions for that quarter to execute some of those marketing efforts. You can get with other local businesses to see what events they have planned in your local community. And then you can cross promote those, and you can ask them to do the same for you when you have events. It's kind of like a pay it forward action. And then if you're doing video content, which we highly suggest that you do, because you can see this stat there that 416% more interactions happen with video content. You plan a day for your production. If you're working with short video clip content platforms, you know, like TikTok, Facebook stories and reels, or Instagram stories and reels. I mean, like I said earlier, this does take planning, and you have to be methodical in this process. You have to write out what you want your video content to have within it, what the message is going to be, who's going to be in the video, where you're recording the video, etc. And if you want to make a fun video with your team, and let's say you have, you know, locations in different states, you can incorporate your entire team into this process. Not everyone has to be in the same physical area to produce video content. There's so many different splicing options and video editing options now that all of these different platforms have, where you could literally send out an email to your team saying, record a 30-second, or that's probably too long, record a 5 to 10-second video of you doing this task. And then you can splice and dice all of those together and make a really cool TikTok video or Facebook story reel video. We recommend that you get a Canva account. I talked about this earlier. You can go to www.canva.com. There is a free version. I believe the free version may watermark some of the images with the Canva logo. So I would pay for the pro version. It's less than 20 bucks a month, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's well worth the money to spend it for sure. So, and then if you have different social media platforms that you're on, like I said, you know, we're on like 5 or 6 of them currently. You should consider an automated social media content scheduling system. The one that we currently use is Hootsuite. CoSchedule is another good one. Social Pilot's a good one. Go out there and look some of these up, get some pricing on them, compare the platforms. They're all really good. They all just, you know, one has one feature that another one might not. So find the one that's best for you and find the subscription level that is best for you. What I like about Hootsuite is when you tie in all of your different social media platforms and you go to make a post, it's going to show you exactly what that post is going to look like on those different platforms, because many of you probably know Instagram has more of a square look to it as far as the images. And so you can get a good bird's eye view of what your post will look like across all the different platforms. You know, not TikTok, but Twitter has a very different look to it as well. So we'll give you that bird's eye view of what everything's going to look like. And then when you link in and add in all of your different social media channels to a scheduling system like this, what the system does, it will provide you analytics the measurables that you want to be looking at for the effectiveness of your different ads that you're doing. And then it also starts to record the usage. And what I mean by that is when your followers tend to be online. So it's going to give you suggested times of when you should be posting your content out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., which is really helpful because a lot of people go, okay, when should I even post? Maybe they think Monday morning at 9 a.m. as people are getting their day started is the best time to post. But in fact, Hootsuite starts to analyze your audience and when they're online, and they tell you, no, in fact, your audience is online the most at Tuesday at 4 p.m. So if it says Tuesday at 4 p.m. and it's suggesting that, highly recommend that you go with the suggestion and you post Tuesday at 4 p.m., not Monday at 8 or 9 a.m. Use a variety of content and make these posts as engaging as possible. That's what you want. You want engagement. You want the likes. You want the comments. You want the shares. You want the follows. You want all of those things. So we use the 5-3-2 rule in our content creation. So 5 posts should be curation, sharing others' content that's relevant to the business, right? It could be a moving company. It could be something like that where it's relevant to self-storage. I wouldn't put, something out there about a cute dog eating a treat. Make sure that it is relevant. So 5 posts of sharing other content that is relevant to what your messaging is. 3 posts should be creation that you have produced yourself, original content. And then 2 posts should humanize your brand, making it personal, fun, relaxed. Some examples of this could be highlighting your facility manager and what they're doing at your facility, highlighting a tenant and their experience at your facility. When your brand has a human element to it, people tend to interact with that type of posting more than just something that's salesy in nature and trying to market to them. So here are some suggestions and examples of the different types of posts. You have an imagery post, which is exactly what it says. It's a photo that complements your content and captions. And then the last tab here is going to show you what the intended result is. You want to get impressions, engagements, and call to actions. Those call to actions are driving your tenants or potential tenants to do something. Rent with you, reserve with you, call, book now, download this information, whatever that may be. Your video posts, short 30 to 60-second video clips. These tend to perform really well. If you do have a YouTube channel and you have a longer clip, like maybe a 10-minute clip, the cool thing you can do is you can take that 10-minute clip and you can get all these different micro clips, those short 30 to 60-second video clips that you can use just from that 10-minute video. You'd be shocked at how many micro clips you can find within a long form video. You can ask poll questions. We love doing this. We like to ask, for example, with the facility is you could say something like, what is most important to you in a selection of a self-storage facility? And the responses could be, security, easy access, inexpensive cost to rent, whatever that may be. And you can start to gather that business intel of what your potential customers want from you as a business. You can ask questions. You can ask your audience to ask you a question, and then you can respond. An example here, ask me what my 10 by 10 costs right now, and then you can respond to that. You can do add your post where you can ask your audience to complete a prompt and then they can add a supporting video. So this kind of is the one on the human element. Maybe for Thanksgiving, you could say, show us a picture of what your plate looks like today. And then you can show them what your plate looks like. Just again, to break up the content and not make it always about self-storage and selling units and adding that human element to it. You always want to tag and mention, whether it's tagging other people or other businesses. Let's say you tag 3 people in a post and all 3 of those people have 1,000 followers. Well, there's 3,000 potential eyeballs that will show up in their news feeds when you tag them. So tagging is a really important element. You could do a fun quiz post. You can ask a question, and you can tie it into a giveaway and do a contest. Again, a human element, something fun. Link post. Add these links that will get them to your website. This is a place where you can really drive traffic. That call to action is driving that traffic over to your website. So make sure when you do a link post, you do have the accurate link of your website where you're trying to drive them to, for them to go interact with you and transact with you and hopefully rent a unit. A countdown post. If you have a special event or a promotion, let's say you're doing, for the month of November, you're doing a 10% off your 5x5s. You could put, a countdown post that, if let's say it's towards the end of the month, 5 days left, 6 days left, 7 days left of that special promotion. And it's a fun, engaging way to see like the clock ticking. And then content posts, you can create or contest posts, I'm sorry. There's fun and engaging social media contests that we can do. This can definitely help expand your reach and audience and your followers. And we'll talk about this in a little bit further detail as we progress through this. So this is just a bird's eye view of we go on Google Sheets, and we plan here from Google Sheets, and then we upload this information with all of our different graphics and our videos into Hootsuite. So we start here, and you can see we put the dates. We have the date and time of the post, the platforms that we are going to put that post on, what that content type is. You can see there, announcement, blog announcement, etc., what the topic is, and then the details in the copy that we want to go with this particular post. And as you can see, the details and copy section, it's not very lengthy, and I would recommend not putting long text format out there because people will not interact with it. They will not read further. So here's some just fun and creative content that I've seen out there that you can see a lot of the Gate 5 self-storage I'm using because I really love what they do. And then I did this one, the first one, just to kind of show you. This is utilizing an avatar. And this is just making my background pop, right? So you could add a background color, you could add a background template, or you could add that avatar, because as you're scrolling, if you see that with that megaphone, that's probably going to make you stop. Same as this next one. Woohoo, it's Friday. It's been a rough week. I mean, you got this cute little monkey. And again, this is the human element one. They're not really talking anything salesy about self-storage here. This one's talking about an auction. So it's a fun meme that they created with Austin Powers. And then this is probably one of my most favorite ones. They are utilizing and showing through this meme that they have move-in trucks and free move-in trucks when somebody does a storage rental. So they're using Oprah there, saying, everybody gets a free move-in truck. This is relatable. It will make people stop. They see that. They see the word free. Again, you want to make sure that your content is creative and it captures your audience. Scientists are showing that the human has less of an attention span than a goldfish. A goldfish attention span is 9 seconds. We have less time than that to get in front of a consumer. And think about it, consumers are digesting a ton of information. Think of yourself when you're on your phone or you're on your laptop or your device and you're scrolling the internet or you're scrolling social media. There is so much content out there, so you have to get them very quickly. You have about 2.6 to 3 seconds to get that attention. So here's some content suggestions, definitely your promotional specials, your exclusive offers that you want to offer to your tenants, bundle packs, if you have any bundle packs that you're offering on your moving supplies, or, if they rent a 10 by 10, they get this free bundle pack, whatever it may be, your moving and packing tips, unit size guide tips, and then your moving day tips, or even like a moving day checklist, things that are resources that are going to help your audience in this process. When you can be a resource provider, people will definitely start to interact with you and follow you and will transact with you on the back end. Local community events. You can even create event pages to help promote those local events or events that you may be doing at your facility if you have a large enough facility to do so. I know Storco out in Missouri, James Reed, he did a conversion project of an old drive-in movie theater. So he has a huge parking area and he has 2 festivals he does a year. I think a spring and fall one where he has crowds and crowds of people that are coming to his facility to go partake in the festival and the carnival. Again, they might not be thinking they need storage right now, but in the future, a couple months down the road when they need storage, they're going to go, oh, remember that facility we were at where the carnival was? They're going to come back and hopefully interact with you at that point. We are finding that posts about other local businesses, you could do, brand of the week, a business of the month. Those are performing really well. Post about your tenants are performing very well from what we see. And then post about your staff. Showcase your team. The human element post really perform well. I cannot emphasize that enough. You can post your reviews and your testimonials. If you've got a 5-star Google review, turn that into a fun graphic, put it out on social media for your social audiences to see. Use hashtags, but don't use those excessively. So hashtags are a sorting mechanism for the crawlers to kind of figure out what information the person is looking for. We recommend 3 to 5 hashtags at max on a particular post. I don't like hashtag stuffed posts. It confuses the audience, it confuses the crawlers. Make sure you're only putting about 3 to 5 hashtags and that they're relevant and they're not super long and hard to read. Hashtag self-storage, hashtag 10 by 10 unit sale, whatever those hashtags are that you can come up with to help this sorting process. Utilize those GIFs and memes like I just showed you on the previous page. There were a couple memes there. You can utilize GIFs. If you have a Canva account, Canva will actually make GIFs for you. And there's a ton of free meme and GIF softwares and platforms out on the internet that you can find and use. Again, tagging the people, like I mentioned earlier, and why that's important because it expands your reach to their audience. And then you really need to start looking into creating those Instagram and Facebook reels and stories. People are interacting with this content more than any other type of content out there right now. You can do video tutorials on how to pack your unit the right way. You can go live. I've seen owners go live on their social media pages and saying, hey, this is Jessica from ABC Storage. Just wanted to jump on here live and let you know that we're doing some upgrades to the facility. We've added in these new security cameras. Our facility is the most secure in the area. Come rent from us. There's plenty of ways you can do it. And I love when I see owners go live. They're very engaging videos when I see these live videos. And make sure that all of these content posts are mobile friendly because most of the people will be on mobile as they are searching for this stuff. And then show off those different amenities of your facility, your gate access control, if you're climate control or not climate control. And if you are climate control, the importance of what climate control even means in keeping people's goods safe. Surveillance features, office area of your facility, especially if you sell those retail products. So the customer knows they can come get those moving supplies from you if needed, and they don't need to make 2 stops and go to like a local Home Depot or Lowe's to get their boxes and their tape. Your recent upgrades to enhance the aesthetics of your facility and your security. If you have kiosks for rentals and payment options, if you have pack and ship services, wine, boat, RV storage, loading dock area to show customers how easy it is to load and unload their items. So anything with the amenities of your facility are really nice posts that you can put out there for engagement. Here's some content to avoid. Most of this is probably pretty self-explanatory, but just want to make sure that you're aware of this. So anything political and religious, the use of profanity, there's a lot of song elements that you can add in now to the videos that you're doing. So you can always select the clean version of the song. It doesn't have to be the illicit version. Definitely don't slander your competition and talk smack. Irrelevant viral posts, there's some really fun posts that go viral, but I wouldn't share those if they have no relevancy to self-storage and what you're trying to do. Any negative or derogatory content, obviously that should be a no-brainer. Post with spelling or grammatical errors, excuse me. Double, triple check your information. If you're the one creating it and you're looking at it, you're probably going to look at it in nauseam. I would get a friend or family member to take a look at it. They're a fresh set of eyes. They'll be able to see if there's any errors in spelling or grammar out there. Brand inconsistent content, that's another big one. You want to make sure that everything is on brand that you're putting out there. Unaccredited content, don't post something and act like it's your original content. You can get in trouble for copywriting if you do something like that. We talked about that hashtag stuff content earlier, 3 to 5 hashtags per post max. And then the same message across all social media platforms in use. This one I'm on the fence about, but I do like to mention it. So if you have multiple platforms, like I said, we're on 5 or 6 of those. We right now, due to bandwidth issues, we post that same content on all of the different platforms. Most of the platforms probably will have the same users. Some will have different users because obviously people have preferences in what social media channels they use. But there's some strategies out there that say, if you're putting the same message across all the different platforms and you have some of the same followers, it may solicit them unfollowing you on one of the platforms because they're getting that same information from their platform of choice. The only thing that this is going to do that's detrimental is maybe have you lose a few followers, but usually those followers will still remain within your community. They might just be following you on a different platform. So the next one is captions and the importance of video captions, especially right now. You know, these are different reasons why video captions are so important. So obviously the most important one, it allows the hearing impaired to interact with your content seamlessly. And then studies are showing us 80% of people are not even turning the unmute button off to listen to the audio and the video content. So if they're not doing that and there's no captions, they're not even going to figure out what the message is. They may be able to watch the video and draw a conclusion of their own, but don't let them draw their own conclusion. Do the video content with the caption, and then you're going to tell them exactly the message you're trying to convey to them. Caption videos are receiving 40% more views than those without captions. And then this is going to help grab their attention because you are fighting for their attention. I promise you, you're fighting for their attention with the amount of content that consumers are consuming on a daily basis. Then it helps you deliver that message to them in a more manageable way. Again, people are normally multitasking. If they can read the caption, they're going to get the message. And then it also helps enhance SEO, which is search engine optimization, and your ranking with caption indexing. So crawlers out there cannot actually watch your video content. However, if your video content has captions on top of it, what the crawlers can do to enhance SEO is they can find those specific keywords, and then that will help with the ranking process for SEO. So the next one is consistency. So posting consistently and when. So right now, if you're just getting started, or even if you've been doing this, posting at least once a week is totally sufficient at this point. Again, just like we said, we're on multiple platforms and we kind of harness and mastered one before we added in another one. Do that with your consistency of posting. Start with once a week. If you get that rhythm, then maybe up it to 2 times, 3 times a week. I don't think that you need to be posting 5 days, 7 days a week. I think that's unnecessary. Once a week is a good start. And then pages that lay dormant and are not active can definitely be perceived as an inactive business or page. If I go to a business page and they've not posted in a year, my initial perception is that business is no longer open. And then this can help you have, if you plan this, you could stop having those oh shoot moments like I forgot to post. I'm going to quickly try to come up with a social media post for today. Don't just post to post. We want you to post because we want you to be mindful of having specific intentions in this process. And it's going to become very evident to your audience if you are just posting to post and you're not trying to be methodical in your messaging or mindful in your messaging. And then review your analytics to see when your audience on each social platform is most active. That's going to tell you exactly when you should be posting. I just told you earlier about Hootsuite. It's going to start tracking and analyzing your audience, their engagement, and when they're online. Post when they're online. It does not make sense to post when they are not online. Make your posts concise. So conciseness was one of the next C's. Keep those posts short, sweet, and to the point. You have 2.6 to 3 seconds to get those viewers' eyes to settle on your content. So how are you going to do that? You're going to do that with a nice, crisp, clear, sweet, concise, to the point post. Post about a singular topic. Don't confuse the consumer. Yeah, maybe your facility has 12 different amenities that you really want to feature, and you're thinking, oh, I've got their attention, so I'm going to rattle off all these different 12 amenities in one shot. I think that confuses the consumer, but if you think of it this way, if you have 12 different amenities that you want to feature, there's 12 singular topics to post about right there. Don't write lengthy text, heavy posts. I put this see more here with the ... because if you've been on Facebook and someone writes a very long form text heavy post, you're going to see that see more button. It'll be highlighted in blue where you can click that and see the full post. The likelihood of people doing that is slim to none. Short copy is going to outperform long copy posts 9 out of 10, if not 9.5, probably even more than that now, than doing all those long copy posts. People are just not looking to read things that are long in nature. They don't have the time to do it or even the attention span to do it these days. The next C is call to action, setting those specific call to actions. And it's exactly what it says. You want someone to do something. You want an action from your post. So here's some of the suggested ones and then what the prompt should do. You've got the book now where you want them to act and transact with you immediately. Get a quote where maybe they're still digging for a little bit more information on the availability and pricing options of your different units. Call now. If you do this, I would recommend that you have that link to a traceable phone number in case you miss the call. That way your team member is able to follow up with the call. Super critical that that phone number is traceable. The contact us, it's going to take them right out to your website with all your pertinent information. Learn more. Again, it's going to take them off social to your website. They can send you a message. They can send you a direct message right there from social media. Please make sure if they are doing that, that you're responsive to those direct messages. Sign up is another good one where you can have them sign up. Maybe you have a mailing list, an email list that you have. If you're putting out any type of ebooks or helpful tutorials or online guides, another one that's not actually on this list would be download now. You want those CTAs to be actions that they can quickly comprehend and interact with so that they're consuming the information and getting to the call to action that you intended them to do. The next D is coupons. Coupons is a word of the past, like I said earlier. So this is your special offers and discounts. So list all of your move-in specials and discounts on social media pages. Let them know what's out there. I would always recommend that you check what your local competition is offering and just offer something slightly more aggressive than their offer. That way you can go and combat and say, they can say to you, oh, well, so-and-so is offering this special. Oh, well, I'm offering that same special plus these added features. And then make sure that your offers do have a limited time. So we call those LTOs, limited time offers. That's going to create a sense of urgency for the consumer to interact with that offer. So next 2 weeks, 10% off, or next month, $1 move-in, whatever your specific offer and discount is, make sure that it is within a limited time and that it has a shelf life. Contest is the next C. Here's a contest example, and I want to quickly mention before we get into this, On whatever platform you're posting a contest, please check the community standards and guidelines prior to executing that contest. I know a group that recently did a contest. Facebook found them an infraction in the contest and in the community standards, and it actually shut down their parent page and all the secondary subsidiary pages that they had for all of their different locations. And they had to go through an appeal process with Facebook to get this lifted. If anyone here has not been through an appeal process yet with Facebook, it is not fun. It is tedious. It is all done through email. There is no phone number for you to call. There is no live chat. You are relying on Facebook to email you when they choose to, and with the decision that they choose out of it. So check those community standards. But here's an example, and we were trying to get our followers up. So we did a contest where they could enter the chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. We clearly identified the rules for entry. We wanted them to like our Facebook page, follow our Facebook page, share the content post so their friends and family could also view that and participate in the contest if they wanted to, and then tag 3 friends in the comment section. So every person that did all 4 of those tasks mentioned above got an entry to win that $100 gift card. And then set parameters of how long your contest is going to be and announce the date and time you will go live to announce the winner of that contest. So you could say, on November 25th at 8 p.m., we will be going live to announce the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card. If you do a contest like this, I promise you, you could sit back and watch your social media pages, your likes, followers, and engagement rates, and that online visibility grow and grow quickly and very organically without having to pay for an ad. The only thing you're paying for here is that $100 Amazon gift card. So watch your competition. The competition is the next C. What are your competitors posting? Follow your competitors, like your competitors. That way they will become in the algorithm. They will now show up in the algorithm of your news feed. So they are now top of mind for what you're looking for. See how often they are posting and replicate that. If you like what you see, what they're doing, you can recreate that, but use your own branding and your own unique twist. So we call this R&D. I got this from Amy's Attic Self Storage in Texas. I love this term. It's rip off and duplicate. However, we don't want you to copy it word for word. Please make sure that it has your own branding to it, your own messaging, and your own brand identity and voice in this process. Case studies is the next C, better term for tenant testimonials, because I'm trying to use these C terms. So as part of your content calendar, do a testimonial Tuesday or even a testimonial Thursday each week. Again, that will give you something consistently to post every Tuesday or Thursday, every single week. And you could showcase your Facebook reviews, your Google reviews. You could take quotes given directly from your pleased customer and put them out there. You can do a graphic post of that online review. If your tenant is comfortable with you taking a short video of them, you could post that. I saw Mitch Feldman from the Feldman Companies did this a couple weeks ago with one of his tenants. It was he and the tenant in the video. He was doing a quick little interview of why the tenant liked renting from him. And it was a great showcase, and people kind of love that 30 to 60 second claim to fame in their local market that they were featured on someone's social media, on a business social media page. If you are taking a photo of that tenant, or you're taking a video of that tenant, please go online and find a free photo release form that you can have them sign, especially if they have a child with them that happens to be in the video that you definitely know is under the age of 18. They are a minor. Please get them to sign a waiver just so they can't come back to you and say that you used their video or their photo without their permission. Definitely get their permission in all cases. And if they don't feel comfortable with you taking a video of them, you can do an audio testimonial where you could say, hey, I'm going to pull out my phone, I'm going to turn on voice record. Could you just give me a short little audio clip of stating, why you like renting here? And then you can repurpose that audio clip out on your social media pages for some good content. And then as far as testimonials, here's some fun stats for you just to consider. 80% of customers trust online reviews just as much as a personal recommendation. I mean, that's a pretty big percentage there. And then customers are likely to spend 30% more with businesses that have good reviews. And by good reviews, we want to see a 4-star rating or higher. The threshold I really like to see us stay between is 4.2 to 4.5. If you have a 5-star rating, I tend to question if those reviews are legit, or if you asked a bunch of your friends and family to go post a good 5-star review for you. 5-star reviews are hard to get. Not everyone's going to have a stellar day all day, every day. So again, that 4.2 to 4.5 star rating on Google, I think is sufficient. And then let's look at this stat. 92% of users will use a local business if it has at least a 4-star rating. And then 86% of customers will hesitate to make a purchase from a business that has a large amount of negative reviews. You're going to get negative reviews. Again, you can't make everyone happy. The only thing I will say with reviews is make sure you are responding to each and every one of them, especially the negative ones, and show that you're willing to cure the situation if it's a negative review. And if they become very egregious and accusatory, I know you're going to want to defend yourself and defend your manager or managers and defend your properties. Don't get into a battle online, going back and forth with the customer for all other customers to potentially read. Take that offline, apologize for the situation and what they had happen, and then offer a resolution and say, contact me here if you would like to discuss this matter further, and you could give them your email address or your phone number. But these are really good posts to put out there. Again, they have that human element to it, which we see is performing way better than just traditional marketing sales pitch type of post. And then to sum all this up and wrap up this presentation, we're going to talk about the conclusions. These are the metrics that you should be tracking. So these are the different measurables and kind of the definition of what each one of those means. So the reach is the people who viewed the content, the number of people who viewed that content. Impressions is the number of times your content is displayed, no matter if it was clicked or not. Audience growth rate, this is really easy to calculate. You start with how many new followers your brand gets on social media within a certain amount of time. So let's say you're going to look at it for an entire month to 30 days. On day 1 of those 30 days, you started off with 100 followers. By the end of 30 days, you went up to 300 followers. You can quickly figure out what your audience growth rate percentage is by doing some simple math. The click-through rate, and click-through is going to be a big one, because obviously if they're clicking, that means they're interacting and they're engaged with the content. So that's how many users click on the specific link to the number of total users who view that page, email, or advertisement. Click-through rates is a really big one to track. Conversion rates, that's the percentage of users who take that desired action, that call to action. Click here to rent with us. Click here to book more, or book now. Click here to get a quote. Click here to call us now. We want to look at those conversion rates. Your engagement rates, and a lot of people probably think that they need to be in the double digits for good conversion. That's not the case on social media. This is just looking at how many people are connecting with your brand and how often through the different likes, shares, comments, and mentions, because that's the engaging part, right? They're actually taking an action and liking the post or sharing the post or commenting on the post. So less than 1% is considered low, 1 to 3.5 is average, 3.5 to 6 is high, and anything above 6 is very high. I haven't looked at ours recently, but I know we typically fall in that average to high range, which I'm definitely pleased with, and that should be something I would shoot for the middle there. That 1 to maybe 3.5 or 3.5 to 6 range should be a pretty good engagement rate for you. And then the cost per click, this is if you are spending money on paid advertising, whether it's through Google or Facebook, and then that's going to give you how much money you paid for each click in that marketing campaign. And this is just a way to make sure that you're spending your marketing dollars the appropriate way. And if you're not, you can quickly pivot and reposition your messaging for the next advertisement that you decide to do for your business. So again, here's how you calculate that audience growth rate. Here's how you can calculate the post reach. So that's definitely looking at like when your fans are online, and it's going to tell you that optimal time to post. Again, you can utilize Hootsuite or one of those scheduling softwares to get this metric for you. Your average engagement rate, that's your total likes, comments, and shares over your total followers. And then the conversion metrics, conversion rates. So these again are just all of the formulas to get to these different metrics. And if anyone needs any help in figuring these metrics out, or how to read these metrics, or what these metrics even mean for your business, please feel free to reach out to me. I will be happy to take a deep dive into this with you. Again, that click-through rate, that's a big one. And then that cost per click, that one's probably the biggest one out of all of them, because you definitely want to make sure your cost per click campaigns or pay-per-click, you'll either see CPC or PPC as the terminology used there. Want to make sure your ad dollars are being spent the correct way. If it's a brand awareness type post, you might not have as many clicks, but if it's like a conversion type post, you definitely want to make sure that you are getting that click-through rate, and then going back and checking that cost per click to make sure you're spending your dollars wisely. And if you're not, you need to do some A/B testing and see what type of advertising works better for you. And that sums it up for me. Again, I wish I was there so I could answer questions live with you all. But if you do have questions, this is my contact information. My phone number is 904-713-5511, or you can email me at jessica@thesboa.com. Ginny is going to give all of you a copy of this presentation. And if you'd like to follow the SBOA to learn more about the company and what we do, each one of these social media links, or icons, I should say, you can click right on those and it will take you out to our pages. Please like and follow our pages. That's the name of the game, and that's what you should be asking people to do on social media. So I hope you got a lot from this presentation. Again, I'd be happy to answer questions for you. If you have any, please feel free to reach out. Enjoy the rest of the show and have a great time networking and learning from one another. Take care.